Hi guys, hope you enjoy the Saturday upload I'm fixing to release, but I wasn't planning on adding this to the video, but unfortunately it's the only thing I know to do. I spoke with YouTube earlier and I addressed the problems that the viewers are sending me. Have been unsubscribed, their likes been taken off, and their comments been removed automatically. Pretty much the answer YouTube gave me is it's your all's fault. You don't have your subscribe button done. Y'all don't have all selected under the bell. Y'all have none, or your security settings on your device isn't allowing you to get notified, or it's unsubscribing you. So the only way I can see to try to remedy this situation the best that we can until it gets fixed, because I know a lot of other creators are complaining, so eventually they're going to have to do something. I'm going to try to release a video every Saturday. So y'all can look forward to a video release on Saturdays. If they unsubscribe you, put a sticky note, put it in your phone as an alarm on Saturday to notify you. If they're not going to do it, then that's one way we can do it. Another way we can do it is I have a Facebook page called Abnormal Investigations. I'll put the link in the description. You can join it, and I post all new videos to that, plus extra content if you're interested and if you have YouTube. I'm sorry, Facebook. I also have a TikTok account. And I will put the link to it in the description. And we post on there, not as much as we do the Facebook page. You may not always get the video there, but we do post there. These are only a few ways I know to be able to get my videos out to you guys, because I know I'm getting a lot of complaints and a lot of people are having to resubscribe sometimes 3 and 4 times. It's not fair. So maybe this is a way around the system for now. Hope you all enjoy this video coming up, and until we see you next time, one last thing, working on a podcast today, and I think it's going to be awesome if it pans out from what he says he has, but we'll see. Thanks guys, God bless. Hope everybody's doing good today. I want to go over a story that I have put a lot of time into, and I wasn't going to share this story unless I found something that I thought may have been different than what had already been reported, because I didn't want to waste anyone's time. And I think I have a theory that may interest some of you, and hopefully we have some psychologists that'll be able to maybe give us a little more in-depth of the theory I have. Location is going to be North Carolina. Date January 22nd, 2019. The moon is a waning gibbous, 50% light. If you'll notice, it seems that this phase is more deadlier so far than a full moon or any other phase. I'm seeing this phase a lot, just starting to stick out. The victim is going to be a Casey Hathaway at the age of 3 years old. The animal that they're saying done this is a bear. He went missing at 1 p.m. He was gone for 3 days and found at 9 p.m. on the 3rd day. Casey was playing in the yard with friends when it was time to come in. Casey was nowhere to be found. His great-grandmother searched everywhere. She then called the police. After searching for 45 minutes, Craven County Sheriff stated, the great-grandmother said he was walking in the woods. The other children left him and they come running through the house, and that's when she noticed that he was not with the other kids and may possibly be missing. At the time that he went missing, it's going to be 1 p.m. in the day, but there is something that I noticed it was starting to happen by doing a lot of the reading. There was a major weather coming. It was going to be rain with dropping temperatures, so it's before a weather event. Search and rescue teams from across the state immediately came together to brave the treacherous terrain and the low temperatures, hoping to find Casey before it got too late because of the temperatures that were coming. There was cold rain, wind, and temps near freezing. It was very treacherous terrain also in the area they reported. It's hard to get around. Dozens of volunteers. Here you go. The FBI, NCIS, United States Marine Corps joined the effort. Even divers came to the area and were diving because they had ditches, sinkholes, and very deep ponds in the area. Casey, who authorities said weighed 25 pounds and is 2 foot 4 inches, remember that, 2 foot 4 inches tall, was stuck in conditions so bad it turned the search teams away. The United States Marines, the Navy SEALs weren't in this one, but the FBI, NCIS, United States Marine Corps, divers, they all had to quit searching. They even had professional search teams there. The weather got so bad. This is the first night. Sheriff Hughes stated his team was very concerned as temps dipped near freezing. So that's another thing I found, is he said they dipped near freezing. Now also remember this part right here where he said they dipped near freezing. This was another thing I found that just didn't go with what was reported. Because this is what he said. He said it dipped near freezing, but against all odds, they found him. It was folks giving us tips and leads, Hughes said. We hit every one of them immediately, and it paid off. On day 3, this child was missing for 3 days. Rain, very low temperatures, high wind, treacherous terrain. I mean, there's bears in the area, they said, and other animals that could have preyed upon him. So the odds are way against him. There's sinkholes, there's ponds, and these, they say, are deep. There's actual divers in these. But on day 3, a tip led the search team to a spot where they were able to hear the 3-year-old calling out for his mother, he said. He was 40 to 50 yards away. I later done some more research and I found that the tip that they received was actually from a neighbor walking her dog. She heard crying from the bushes 40 to 50 yards away from the road. Now another thing right here that threw me again, guys. We have all these search teams out there, and out of all these search teams, we got the Marines, and they got dogs, they got drones. All this is out there. And then when I read this, I had to read it again because it says a neighbor walking her dog heard crying from the bushes 40 to 50 yards away from the road. That was telling me that this child was close to their house. With everybody searching, how did they miss him that close to the house with dogs and everything? Was he brought back to the area that had already been searched? Was another question that it just didn't make sense to me. But anyways, it was very cold. Rescuers, this is another part, had to wade through waist-high water to reach the boy, who stands 2 foot 4 inches. They said 2 foot 2 inches, which 66 centimeters. Now, there's two things here I was wondering, and I spoke to a friend about this, and I'll probably get her theory in the comments. I'm sure she's going to post it. But one thing I was wondering, was he put on that island after all the rain and everything to save him? Or was he put on that island because he was being kept captive? This thing didn't want him to get away. Maybe it had something it needed to go do, so it sticks him on the island knowing that he can't escape because of the water, how cold it is. I mean, this kid had to be so cold. And another thing is the kid, people say, well, maybe he went, to the island in the rain. But then again, if he's 2 foot 2 inches or even the 2 foot 4 inches, they say both. I measured up to my waist. I'm 5'10", barefooted. And measuring to my waist, it's about 3 foot 3 inches. So the water would have been over his head. With all the rain they had been in a creek, the water would have been running. It would have been impossible for him to get to this island. He would have drowned. But Casey was found on Thursday, cold, alive. He was in a mess of vines. I thought maybe a nest. And there was thorns all around him. He had minor cuts, abrasions. But in other terms, he was fine. He just asked for a drink of water. He made a comment about having a friend while he was in the woods. His friend was a bear. Major David McFadden told CNN, David said there are bears in the woods of Craven County, but there is no evidence to prove one was with Casey. Okay. Again, remember they said the temperatures over here, the sheriff says they dropped near freezing. But the major, I noticed in his statement, this is what he said. He reported temps dropped to 20 degrees the first night and even below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a lot different than near freezing, because below 20 degrees, that's single digits. That's a hard freeze. Boy, this little boy survived 3 days in this, guys. Rain, wind, below 20-degree temperatures. 3-year-old boy will undergo a forensic psychological exam this week, but for now, we are giving him time to settle with his family. Make sure, that you, I don't know, this is an opinion that I'm going to put out. Maybe they're just making sure that he stays with the story that it was a bear and nothing else, kind of like we're going to talk to you and make sure. Now, I have a theory, and this is a theory I wanted to share with you all, and this is part of what made me decide to do this video. Him being a child at 3 years old, in my opinion, and I've been in the woods a lot, hunted all my life, and a lot of you that have know how fast hypothermia can set in just from an accidental fall in the water, let alone been out 3 days without a fire. Something took care of him. There's a thing that I was wondering, and I want to share this with y'all. Anthropomorphism, it's a big word, but anthropomorphism, I'll spell that out at the bottom, is whenever people use like non-human characteristics to put with an animal. So if this child, this is a theory of mine, was in the woods and a Bigfoot did come up, took him and was taking care of him, maybe the reason he wasn't afraid and was found in such good condition and happy and all is because the anthropomorphism, maybe he saw that because he watched cartoons and he saw Yogi the Bear, or animations and stuff like that, because even Disney uses this whenever they put human characteristics with animals they use in their cartoons. So if he would have saw this animal, he wouldn't have been afraid of it, because it would have been a character that he would have been used to, maybe have seen in the cartoons, and he would have seen it as something that he recognized, that he wasn't afraid of, and that's why he said a bear took care of him. Now, it's just a theory. Like I said, you would probably, if you wanted to really get into that, you'd need a psychologist to probably say so. But that's just a theory that I had, because they said he wasn't afraid, he was in good spirits and everything, and to me, he would have been safe, there was an expert that weighed in, Chris Servine, a bear expert and researcher at the University of Montana, insisted Hathaway was not cared for by a bear. Wild bears, quote, are not friendly with humans. In most cases, the bear would have consumed him or left him for dead. Other experts that I looked up just to confirm stated, a bear has never cared for a human and would have found him as an easy meal or easy prey and would have devoured and consumed the child. Bears see humans as a threat and as a possible food source. The sheriff visited with this kid a year later, whenever he turned 4 years old. And it's funny because whenever he visited with the kid, he went through the forensic psychological exam that they were going to give him. And when the sheriff was talking to the kid, he now, to this day, he has no recollection of the incident, doesn't remember anything about it. All he knows is that the sheriff saved him, which I'm sure he's been told that a million times. But bottom line, thank God he was found alive. That's the most important thing. Uh, that's a blessing. Why do these creatures, these animals, why do they take children? It goes back, I mean, the Choctaw, the Cherokee, the Delaware, they all said they took them and ate them. They took their children, they bred them, they stole their wives. I mean, they done terrible things. So why would this creature have took him? Was he put on that island to be caught and kept as, a captive? Was he put there while it went and done something? Why was it done? I know my friend's going to weigh in on this. That was the text I just got. But I look forward to hearing her theory. But that's the reason I decided to go ahead and do this, is because I did find that, and I thought possibly that is how he was able to cope with what was going on and what had him. And I mean, that's the only thing I can come up with, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this one. I look forward to your comments, and we'll see you on the next one.